You just hit level 90. Congratulations. But if you skip even one step in this gearing process, you're gonna make this way harder on yourself than it needs to be. Hey, it's CJ. And if you're a fresh 90 that didn't buy Contenders gear or start your legendary quest line yet, you're already behind and you didn't even know it yet. Most players don't struggle in MoP because the content is hard. They struggle because they don't know how to progress through the content. And that lack of knowledge snowballs into weeks of wasted time. I'm going to show you the exact gearing order for both PvE and PvP. So whether your goal is locking in big parses or climbing the PvP ladder, you're not wasting time doing things backwards. So first, let's start with the PvE route. Do not skip this. Let's start with the biggest mistake that fresh 90s make. They skip Contenders gear. They think that it's just crappy PvP gear, but here's what most people miss. It's not about increasing player power, it's about removing barriers. In order to access Celestial Dungeons, you need to have at least 435 item level. So picking up a few Contenders pieces can boost you up to that threshold immediately. Contenders gear is extremely cheap, so it's a worthwhile pickup. Also, you're replacing this gear immediately, so don't bother enchanting or reforging it. Step 2 is make sure that you get your bonus rolls. While you're gearing up, bonus rolls are nice to have, but once you're progressing raids, skipping out on bonus rolls is just trolling. Farm your lesser charms of good fortune, turn them into Mogu runes of fate, and then use them. You can get lesser charms of good fortune from mobs all over Pandaria, but the most popular source is from satchels and caches of Celestial Chance. These are purchasable with August Stone fragments and shards from vendors on the balcony in Shrine, and these have a chance to give you rare MoP exclusive mounts and pets that didn't even exist on retail. Now, don't spend your bonus rolls here, but make your way over to some of the world bosses. These are essentially free loot pinatas. You can find Shaw of Anger in Kunlai Summit. Shaw of Anger and Galleon both drop 476 item level pieces of gear. Undasta and Nalik drop 522 item level gear. And you can find Undasta on the Isle of Giants. You can find Nalik on the Isle of Thunder. And just so you know, for the Timeless Isle and Siege of Orgrimmar patch, you can find both Ordos and the Celestials on the Timeless Isle. World bosses take almost no time, and one drop can slingshot your progression. Once I don't need the loot anymore, I skip them. But if you still need upgrades or you're chasing one of the mounts, they're always worth doing. Now, up next, let's talk about Celestial Dungeons. Celestial Dungeons are your bread and butter when it comes to being raid ready in Mists of Pandaria Classic. Celestial Dungeons are slightly harder than Heroics, but they're very forgiving and honestly undertuned. And they're also very fun. The Celestial buffs at the very start of the dungeon let you pump huge damage, carry weaker groups, and learn your class under pressure. Before you get started with Celestial Dungeons, make sure you've started your legendary quest line, as all of the components can be farmed in Celestial Dungeons. You can start the quest by talking to Wrathion in the Veiled Stair, which is squished between the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, Jade Forest, and Valley of the Four Winds. Now, if you're not sure which Celestial buff to pick up at the start of your dungeon, have no fear, I am here. Nuzao will give you the tank buff, Yuin will give you the physical damage buff, Yulan will give you the magical damage buff, and Chiji will give you the healing buff. Each dungeon drops 463 item level heroic loot, with the final boss of every dungeon dropping multiple 502 eye level Celestial pieces, including your class's tier set. Every dungeon has specific pieces from the raid tied to it, so if you're hunting a specific piece from a dungeon, you can queue for that dungeon directly until you get it. Or you can purchase it from the vendor in Shrine using the new currency you'll receive from Celestial Dungeons. On every boss kill, dungeon completion, and daily Celestial quest, you'll get rewarded with August Stone fragments, shards, or clusters, depending on which raid tier you're in. These are a new currency that can be traded in for Celestial versions of raid loot, which are the exact same items that used to drop in Raid Finder in original Mists of Pandaria. By the way, there is no Raid Finder in Mists of Pandaria Classic. Hey, a quick aside, if this video is saving you time or gold, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe down below. It actually helps the channel a ton, and it tells YouTube that this video is actually worth showing to other Mists of Pandaria players. Thank you in advance. August Stone fragments aren't the only currency you'll have to juggle in Mists of Pandaria. Justice and Honor are convertible with each other, so if you have extra Honor from leveling up, you can swap it to Justice to help yourself gear quicker, or you can swap any excess Justice into Honor to pick yourself up a PvP set. If you PvE and PvP on the same character, you'll find that gearing becomes incredibly easy because you'll be swimming in all of the extra Justice and Honor that you'll be raking in. If you're sitting with capped Justice or Honor and you don't know what to spend it on, consider purchasing heirlooms, gearing up a second spec, or using a profession like enchanting so you can buy extra gear to disenchant for gold. And now I'm not done talking about currencies yet. This one's really important. After you unlock the Isle of Thunder with 5 minutes of questing, you'll get access to a new Valor Point vendor that sells 522 gear tied to the Shadowpan Assault reputation. Some of these pieces could be in your BIS list, so don't just spend your Valor on upgrading raid loot. Now it's time for the final step. If you've done about 30 Celestial dungeons up to this point, you're ready for raid. You should have a full 502 item level set of gear, you should have experience avoiding the current raid tiers mechanics, and you should have confidence in your rotation. If you're not confident in your rotation, go check out Warcraft logs and look up one of the top performers for your class and spec. If you look at their damage or healing breakdown, you'll see what abilities they're using more often than you, and then you can start tweaking your own gameplay to start healing like they do. Congratulations and good luck in the Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar. Now, moving over to our PvP gearing route. Now, it's essentially the exact same start for the PvP gearing route. First, go kill Shaw of Anger and Nalek. These world bosses have a chance to drop PvP gear, and it's easy to find a group for them. You'll need to unlock the Isle of Thunder to kill Nalek, but that one quest takes a minute. Hopefully you get a drop, but if not, oh well, it was worth a shot. At this point, convert any excess justice points to honor in Townlong Steps, then go to the auction house and buy Contenders gear. You can get a blue PvP set for less than 1,000 gold. Once you've got that set, progress happens the moment you press Q. If you want to PvP, Q rated 2s, 3s, 5s, or RBGs immediately. Wins and losses both give you conquest points, and so even losing will progress you forward in getting more gear. Now, 2s and 3s grant 250 conquest per win and 75 per loss. 5s grant 400 conquest per win and 120 per loss. And rated battlegrounds grant 750 conquest per win, 250 per loss, and have bonus honor in each game. So if you want to gear up as fast as possible, rated battlegrounds are the way to go. Before I continue, you might have your doubts about jumping into rated PvP with blue gear, but let me tell you, that is one of the biggest ways that players sabotage themselves. Spamming non-rated PvP for honor to get geared up is just a waste of time. Your conquest cap per week is 4,000 per points, and you can get your previous week's cap if you didn't get it in that week. By week 7, it's going to be at 28,000, and you will have a full set of conquest gear. So don't worry about it. Get as much gear as possible today. If you're an arena player that doesn't get many honor points, then just consider doing some RBGs because they're great. Now, also, if you don't want to queue up with low gear because you're afraid about ruining your win-loss ratio, just know that you can reset your personal rating and your win-loss ratio by using Blizzard's built-in character delete and restore system. Keep in mind that the character restoration service can typically only be used once every 14 days. So don't delete all of your characters all at once in an attempt to reset multiple characters' ratings. Now, if you're not seeing any groups out there, try to host your own. It's honestly baffling to me how many people look in LFG to see if there's a group available, and when they see nothing, they immediately give up. I have proven to myself time and time again that when I see a dead LFG and I simply just make my own group, I will get people signing up immediately. And if not, I just advertise in trade chat and I find people pretty quickly anyways. If you're playing during a slow period and it's hard to find players and you don't want to make your own group, it's fine. Just queue some random BGs and make sure you're constantly looking for rated games. Now, when it comes to gearing, weapon is your #1 priority. Doesn't matter the class. A new helmet will give you stats, but it won't drastically increase your damage or healing. A new weapon absolutely will. And that's not just because of the increase in top-end damage or spell power, it's due to the massive amount of PvP power that's packed onto PvP weapons. Remember, PvP power and PvP resilience are the two stats separating PvP gear and PvE gear this expansion. If you need to achieve the 7,250 conquest cap before you can buy your weapon, buy both of your trinkets for 3,500 conquest, then save until you hit 7,250 and buy your weapons right away. Your weapons and trinkets are hands down the first pieces you should be getting. Also, at this point, if you have any excess justice points, you can convert it into honor at the justice vendor in Townlong Steps. And a quick little bonus tip, you should probably level up enchanting. Although it costs a little bit, you can typically recuperate that cost pretty quickly by disenchanting all of the epics you'll be replacing as you gear. And you can spend excess honor on the previous season's epic gear to disenchant for further profit. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more. Also, go to Twitch and make sure you follow me there because I'm starting to stream a little bit more. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.